second gen Camaro. Make sure you all like the video, subscribe, comment down below what you guys think, hit that notification bell, and hit all so you know when I make brand new uploads. Alright, so without any further ado, let's begin. So the second gen Camaro, here we go. so, so the Gen 2, Gen 2, you know what, I'm just gonna change the color, there we go, it's a bit better. I mean, not as better, but whatever. It's a bit too dark, I can barely see like the writing, especially in blue. Because when you click on it, because I'm doing this on Wikipedia, when you click on it, it just goes to the next, it just goes to the actual page of it. So that's what it showed, depending on like what the topic would be about. Anyways, so yeah, let's get started. So the second gen Camaro, here we go. So the Gen 2 or the second gen Camaros. So the Gen 2 Camaros so the Gen 2 Camaros so the excuse me. So the Gen 2 Camaros 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 American pony car produced by the Gen 2 Camaros an American. So the Gen 2 Camaros American pony car. It's an American pony car. American pony car produced by Chevy from 1970 through the 1981 model years. So through the 1981 model years, it was introduced in the spring. So in the spring of 1970, build info for model 123. So 123 dash 12487. So model 123 dash 12487. So 123 dash 12487 was released to the assembly plants in February of that same year. So in February 1970, it was longer, lower, and wider. So longer, lower, and wider. So longer, lower, and wider than the first gen Camaro, which is pretty cool. My most favorite Camaro of all time. So it was longer, lower, and wider than the first gen Camaro. So than the first gen Camaro, a convertible was no longer available. GM engineers have said the second gen's much more. GM engineers have said the second gen's much more of a driver's car than its predecessor. So it's more of a driver's car than the second gen. Not second gen, sorry. This is second gen, sorry. Much more of a driver's car than the first gen. There we go. So much more of a driver's car than the first gen. There we go. The high performance C28 option so the high performance C28 option remained available through 1975. So the mid 70s redesignated as the C28. So redesignated was the Z28s in the early 70s. Well, 1972. Overviews next, so let's do it. So, manufacturers obviously by Chevy and by GM, General Motors. Production was between February 1970 to 1981, and it goes the same for the model years 1970 to 1981. So from 70 to 81. Assemblies are in Van Nuys, California, Norwood, Ohio, and Garak. So Van Nuys, California. So assemblies. Whoa. Jeez, sorry. So assemblies were obviously at Van Nuys, Los Angeles, I believe, California, Norwood, Hamilton County, Ohio, and Venezuela. Not Venezuela. Okay, it's Venezuela, but it's Van Nuys, California. Norwood, Ohio. Van Nuys, California. Norwood, Ohio, and Caracas. And the capital of Caracas, and that's also the largest city in Venezuela. As for the 73 model, says for the 1970 to 1973 model, so for the years 70 and 73, the designer is obviously Henry Haga. High performance Z28 option renamed. So the high performance Z28 option renamed, available through 1975, redesignated as the Z28s in 1972. Assemblies in Van Nuys, California, Norwood, Ohio, and Caracas, Venezuela. 1970 to 1973. The designer was Henry Haga. It looks like Saga, like a fast saga, by taking out S and putting H into it, and you get Haga. Body and chassis next. The class is both a pony and muscle car. Body styles a two-door coupe. Layout is front engine. Layout is the proper layout. Front engine, rear-wheel drive. Platform was the GM F platform. It's related to the second gen Pontiac Firebird. Pretty cool. It's related to the second gen Pontiac Firebird. You might recognize that car as a Smokey and a Bandit car. Black and gold. Super cool. Pretty cool. So you might recognize that car as the Smokey and Bandit car from the 70s and 80s. It was 1977 to 1981 or 1982 or 1983, I can't remember. So anyways, let's have body and chassis next. The class is both a pony and muscle car. So both a pony and muscle car. Body style is a two-door coupe. So body style is a two-door coupe. Layout is front engine rear-wheel drive. So front engine rear-wheel drive. Platform was the GMF platform. It's related to the second gen Pontiac. It's related to the second gen Pontiac Firebird. Powertrain is next. Starting off with the first one is the engines. So I got a 3 point. So first 3 are 6 cylinders. So far we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I got like 10 engines. The first 3 are 6 cylinders. Well, one is a V6, 2 are straight 6s or inline 6s. The rest of the 7 are V8s. Hang on. So we got 10 different engines. One's a V6, the other 2 are straight 6s, and the rest of the 7 are V8s. So, powertrain is next. Starting off with the first one is the engine. So the first one we got is a 3.8. So a 3.8 liter 230. Well, it says 229. Well, 230. So a 3.8 liter 230 Chevy 90 degree. So 90 degree V6. Then we got we got 2 inline 6s. A 3.8 liter. So a 3.8 liter. A 3.8 liter 230 and a 4.1 liter 250 inline 6. Now we got the rest of them. Now we got the V8. Starting off with the first one is the glorious LG3. So a 5 liter 305, a 5 liter 305. So 5 liter 305. LG, so 5 liter 305 LG3. So yeah, so LG3. Then we got 5. We got 2, 3. What? So we got 1, 2, 3, 4 different versions of the 5.7 liter 350 V8. The first one was an L65, second LM1, third LT1, then the fourth 5.7 is the L82. Then we got a 6.5. So we got a 6. Then we got a 6.5 liter. 6.5 liter. So 6.5 liter. 396 L78. So we got an L78, a 6.5 liter. Excuse me. A 6.5 liter. 6.5 liter 396 V8. Then we got the mighty 6.6 liter small block. So I got a 6.6 liter small block. So a 6.6 liter small block 400 V8. Transmissions. Transmissions. 2 versions you can have for both automatic and manual. A 2-speed or a 3-speed automatic, or a 3-speed or a 3-speed or 4-speed manual. Pretty cool. Dimensions is next. Wheelbase 2700. So 2700. 2743 millimeters. Dead. Excuse me. Dimensions is next. Wheelbase is first. So wheelbase is 2743 millimeters. So 2743 millimeters. Dead on at approximately 108 inches in wheelbase. Length 4715 millimeters. Dead on at 188 millimeters. Well, let me make the writing a bit bigger. I can just barely see it when it's standard. Okay, so for dimensions, wheelbase 2700. Say 2700. 2700. So for dimensions, we got the first. So for dimensions, we got first one is the wheelbase. That goes in at 2743 millimeters. Dead on at approximately 108 inches in wheelbase. Length 4700. So length 4775 millimeters. So 4775. 4775 millimeters. 188 inches approximately in length. Dead on. Width 1890 millimeters. 74.4 inches in width. Height 1200. Height 1200 and 1273 millimeters. So 1273 millimeters. So 1273 millimeters. 50.1 inches in height. Curb weight approximately dead on at 3,310. So curb weight 3,310 pounds, which is 1,501 kilos. Well, approximately 1,500 kilos. Not bad, not bad. Chronology is next. Predecessor was the first gen Camaro. So predecessor was the first gen Camaro. And the successor was the third gen Camaro. Okay, next up is the second gen Camaro is an American pony car produced by Chevy from 1978, 80, 81 model years. It was introduced in the spring of 1970. Built info for model 123-12487 was released to the assembly plants in February of that same year. Was released to the assembly plants in February 1970. It was longer, lower, and wider than the Gen 1, than the first Gen Camaro. A convertible was no longer available. GM engineers have said the second gen's much more of a driver's car. So GM engineers have said the second gen's much more of a driver's car than its predecessor. The high-performance C28 option remained available through 1975, redesignated as chassis Z28 in 1972. Alright, next up is history. Starting off with the first part is overview. The Gen 2 Camaro. The Gen 2 Camaro is an all-new car with its basic basic mechanical layouts, both familiar and engineered, much like its predecessors, much like the first gen Camaro. A unibody utilizing a front subframe. So front subframe, A-arm, and coil spring front suspension, and rear leaf springs for the rear suspension. Both the chassis and suspension both the chassis and suspension of the Gen 2 were, however, refined in both performance and comfort. Base models offered a significant advances in soundproofing, soundproofing ride insulation and road holding. Extensive experience. Chevy engineers have extensive experience. Chevy engineers have gained. So extensive experience Chevy engineers have gained. extensive experience. Sorry, just start. Extensive experience Chevy engineers has gained racing. The first gen led directly to advances in Gen 2 Camaro. So, and second gen Camaro steering. So Camaro steering. Camaro steering, braking, and balance. High performance configurations were initially available, but the marketplace changed as 1970s progressed with fuel crisis, higher insurance rates, and tightening emissions regulations. Major styling changes were made in both 1974 and 1978. 1981 was the final model year. Okay, next is the different models. So this is from 1970 to 1981. Starting off with the first one is from 1970. So most of both the engine and drivetrain components were carried over from 1969. So from the first gen, with the exception of a 3.8 liter. So with the exception of the 230, a 3.8 liter inline six, replaced by the 250, a 4.1 inline six, rated at 155 horsepower, and the 302, a 5 liter V8, used extensively in the first gen Camaro Z28. The At the big block, 396. So at the big block, 396. So at 6.5 liter. So at the big block, 396. A 6.5 liter L7, a 6.5 liter L78. So L78 V8, rated at a very respectable 350 horsepower. Starting in 1970, the nominal 396 actually displaced 402, a 6.6 liter, say 6.6 liters. Yet Chevy chose to retain the 396 badging, equipped with a single four-barrel, four-barrel Holly carburetor that produced at 5,600 RPM, 375 horsepower. Pretty good. And at 3600 RPM, 415 pound-feet, 563 newton meters of torque. Say at 3600 RPM. Say at 3600 RPM. Two 7.4 liter, 7.4 liter. 7.4 liter 454 V8s for both the LS6 and LS7 were listed on early spec sheets and in some sales brochures, but never made it into production, unfortunately. But it is what it is. Besides the base model, buyers could select the RS Appearance Pack, so RS Appearance option, known as Rally Sport, with a distinctive front end, so distinctive nose and bumper and interior. So bumper and interior upgrades. So a SS pack, so Super Sport Performance Pack, and the Z20 and the Z28. And the Z28 special performance pack. So the Z28 special performance pack, priced at $572.95, featuring a high performance LT1 V8. So featuring a new high performance LT1 V8. LT1. So featuring a new high performance LT1. a 5.7 liter 350. So a 5.7 liter. so featuring a new high performance LT1. So featuring a new high performance LT1. A 5.7 liter 350 V8. So featuring a new high performance 5.7 liter 350 LT1 V8, making 360 horsepower and 380 pound-feet, 520 newton meters of torque. Pretty good. Not bad for a 5.7 liter. up have our 5.7 liter LT1 350 V8. The LT1, which is essentially a Corvette, V8, so a Corvette engine built from the ground up using both premium parts and components, was a much better performer overall than the smaller Trans Am racing derived 5 liter, so 5 liter 302 V8s used used in the 60s, 67, so 67, 69